Hello everyone and welcome back to Ace Attorney Investigations, Miles Edgeworth. We're taking a look at this knife for clues. Obviously we're going to start with the blood, right? It's the weapon that was used to kill Mr. Faraday. The handle and the blade itself both have beautiful designs worked into them. Look, there's even a flower-shaped design in the gold section here. If this hadn't been used as a tool for murder, I'd want it for myself. You seem to have be drawn to the embellishments. Too bad this isn't mine to give. Oh, wait. Nope, same thing. Zoom out. Hold on. Oop. Oh, wait, what? I want to see the bottom of this thing. Yeah, there it is! I can't believe it turned into a key. To think there was such a trick to this thing. So the weapon used to kill Mr. Faraday is actually the key the Yatagarasu stole. This piece of information is more critical than anything we've learned up until now. It is important. I don't know quite how I'm going to use it. In fact, I think it hurts my theory. Frankly, I'm shocked. Mr. Faraday only mentioned the key aspect of this piece of evidence in his organizer. It's possible that even he had no idea the key was hiding a knife blade inside. I don't know if that's true. But if that's true, then only someone who knew about the key to knife trick could have killed Mr. Faraday. Even among law enforcement, this key was top secret. We're looking for someone who knew even more about the key than even Mr. Faraday. Meaning that the only person it could be is the one who sent the key in the first place. The great thief Yatagarasu. Wait, then maybe Mr. Rell really was the Yatagarasu. And he was the one who killed Mr. Faraday. Isn't that one possible scenario? No, not really, especially since Mr. Faraday was absolutely convinced that Mr. Rell was not the Yatagarasu. Besides, as Detective Bad said earlier, but when we questioned Rell about what was sent along with the white card, Rell had no idea what it was. Wait, but Bad knew. I see, alright then, I guess the person who knows the trick behind this key is someone else, and that person is the real Yatagarasu. It seems that this key is truly the key to solving this case. Weapon discovered in Defendant's Lobby 2. Knife data updated in my organizer. I think there's still one more. We haven't looked at this yet. I took a quick look through these documents before the trial started. Well, I wasn't even afforded the opportunity to skim it. I suppose I should explain it to you then. Yes, you should, perfectly, and it's in its entirety, if you please. On the night of September 8th, an embassy staff member was killed in front of the embassy. The staff member died of shock due to being shot in the heart. Mac Rell was brought in the night as a suspect and thoroughly questioned, because the murder weapon was found on him, for which he was arrested on the spot. A simpleton of a man, that's what he was. Perhaps he was, for the weapon wasn't the only incriminating evidence we had. Mr. Rell was caught in the act on film by a security camera. He was an even bigger simpleton than I thought. I can't believe he didn't notice the security camera. That's weird. Something's off about that, too. The Cadopian Embassy security system is supposedly very well designed. He may have simply not been aware that there was a camera in the area. It doesn't seem right. So, have you seen the contents of the video for yourself? Yes, the surveillance video the security camera took was played during the trial by Mr. Faraday. You can clearly identify Mr. Rell on it. Even the sound of the gunshot was crystal clear. So the footage included sound, huh? I don't think I'd ever want to see the moment of someone's death in real life. Me neither. That's odd. We're short one piece of evidence, and the piece that's missing is a surveillance video that was played in court. The surveillance video? Yeah, why was that taken? How could a piece of evidence just disappear? Where did it go? The video showing the moment in which Mr. Rell committed the murder. Where could it have gone indeed?
Are you done with your inspection of the evidence?
Yes, I'm finished. However, Your Honor, I am missing a single piece of prosecutorial evidence. Your Honor, were you derelict in your duties?
What? No, I dare not lick my duties. What do you take me for?
No, Your Honor, the most important piece of evidence in today's trial. The surveillance video is not amongst the evidence you laid out for me.
Yeah, but I brought Mr. Faraday's whole bag with me from the crime scene. Maybe the tape is still somewhere at the crime scene?
You was looking for it. And so was Kay. That's missing, but why? Ooh, there's so many cool twists and turns in this case. There's something wrong here. Something about this missing piece of evidence. It would appear that for me to find the answers I seek, I will have to pay another visit to the scene of the crime, defendant lobby number 2. Alright, we got this. Wait, who are you? That's Detective Bad, but who is he with? I've never seen that officer before.
So, did you find it?
No, not yet, and I've looked everywhere.
I see. Well then, please continue with the search.
Understood, I'll continue the search. So you're the one running this show. Prosecutors like you shouldn't even be allowed at crime scenes. How dare you? Just who do you think you are? Who's that? No! What was that all about? And who was that man just now? Whoever he was, I've never seen a more impudent officer in my life. Was that... I can't think of his name from the last chapter. Does he even know that we're standing right here behind him?
I know you're standing right behind me. What do you want? Kids.
Looks like you were paying attention after all.
Of course I was. I have eyes in the back of my head.
So that mirror isn't for vanity's sake. It's for him to keep an eye out on who or what is behind him at all times. So tell me, Detective Bad, who was that rude man just now?
I came here from the Republic of Jingfa to study. He's Agent Lang, that was it.
Oh.
He's trying everything he can to revive the lost honor of his family. He's traveling the world to study different philosophies of detainment from scratch.
Philosophies of detainment? By visiting various police departments around the world? He has a lot of dedication.
He's still just a rookie cop, but I sense a strong grudge of some sort from him. The guy's more useful than Gumshoe, even if he is rude.
I'll take Gumshoe. Well, he sure has a lot of guts to come to this country and give prosecutors a hard time. I agree, however, I can think of one young lady that statement also applies to. Anyway, what was that agent looking for, Detective Bad? Earlier, that little girl was poking around in lobby number 1 as well.
Like I said before, it's got nothing to do with the two of you.
It does. I highly doubt that it has nothing to do with me. Fine. If this is the game I must play, then I will take this opportunity to draw out what he's been hiding and what happened in this room straight from him. Alright, I've learned my lesson. We're going to look around the room first. Alright, we're going to talk to... Looks like Detective Bad is searching for something. Indeed, I'm curious as to what it could be myself. Maybe I should just ask him. Yeah. Hold on, before we get to that, though. I can leave. Nothing I really want to look at. I can still smell that perfume, even the window being left open to air out the room. You sure they didn't just forget to close the window, Miles? Yes, well, I hadn't thought of that. You've still got a long way to go if you think you can best me, Miles Edgeworth. Oh, well, alright, I guess I was done in there. can go here. Yep. Nothing in here. I don't want to talk to you, but... Oh, wait! Were you there the whole time? Oh, sorry, mister. I'm a little... Oh, yeah, okay. Well, I'm looking for something. Uncle Bad told me to, so that's what I'm gonna do. Let's go. I don't want to interfere with the girl, lest Detective Bad get angry. Yes, agreed. Was that the exact same conversation as before? It started off the same. What is it, Edgeworth? Nothing in particular, however. Yeah, he says. You did it again. What is that supposed to be? Your mating call? Is everything I do humorous to this woman? Look, Edgeworth, I'm incredibly busy right now. I've got a mountain of things to figure out and check up on. If you want to talk, you're just going to have to wait until later, okay? I'll just continue with my investigation then. Alright. I don't see anything particularly interesting to look at. The bodies have been moved. Oh my god, I want to skip. Skip. Oh my god. It's not what I was trying to do! Can I talk now? Earlier, you were in lobby number 1, and now you're here in lobby number 2. You're quite the busy man, Detective Bad.
Multiple returns to a crime scene brings about success. That's what we detectives say.
I see. In that case, you wouldn't mind if I asked you about what happened again, correct?
I don't have anything left to say to you, boy.
Boy, you'll see. I will draw my answer from you one way or another. Would it kill you to help us even a tiny bit in our investigation?
I gave Faraday's notebook to the judge earlier. That's help enough, don't you think?
Please, we're asking you for just a bit more of your cooperation.
Don't push me, kid.
Time of the murder. I'd like to ask you once again about what happened around here at the time of the crime.
I refuse to answer. Any more investigating you do would be a waste of time.
What does he know? Does he know something?
Besides, how am I supposed to answer a question about things I don't know about?
Things you don't know about, but aren't you supposed to know everything? He should. Wait, is it possible? Maybe he doesn't know about the trick behind that piece of evidence. Let's try showing it to him. It may prove to be the key to getting some answers from Detective Bad. Or... I don't like it, but the game is clearly trying to push me towards that. Detective Bad, did you know of this existence of the item in this photograph?
Of course I did. It's my job to know everything related to the Yatagarasu case.
In that case, let me ask you something. Did you know that the knife that killed Mr. Faraday and this Yatagarasu key are one and the same?
What? That's impossible.
Looks like he didn't know after all. This piece of evidence, which we call the Yatagarasu's key, is actually a well-camouflaged knife. Mr. Faraday was planning to use this Yatagarasu's key to prove that Mr. Rell was not the real Yatagarasu. Isn't that correct?
I guess so.
However, Mr. Faraday had no idea that it was, in fact, a knife.
Yeah, I have to admit, neither of us knew that fact.
Really?
And if neither of us knew, then no one in law enforcement knew either. How did we miss something as big as this?
I noticed that since a little while ago you appear to be searching for something. I presume that this key is what you were searching for?
Yeah, that's right.
And why were you searching for it?
Because I promised Faraday, I promised that I'd protect that key with my life. But after he was killed, the key disappeared from Faraday's evidence bag. Who would have thought that the key is what took Faraday's life?
Detective Bad, so that we may find the truth, please testify for me once more.
Alright, but it doesn't matter how many times I tell you about what happened. Nothing will change.
Alright, tell me about the time of the murder. Detective Bad, I ask that you please testify once more about what happened in lobby number 2 and what you experienced in lobby number 1.
My answer is still the same, and this is the last time I'm going to do this.
That's fine, because I only need this one last time to clear everything up and find the truth behind this case. Now, here we go. Detective Bad's movements.
I was in lobby number 1, talking with you. We were talking about some trivial things.
I don't buy that.
I heard the gunshot right before the trial was about to reconvene. When we heard it, you and I immediately dashed out into the hallway together. I saw Gumshoe goofing around there, and then we all ran into lobby number 2.
Okay. Sounds like the exact same story he told us before. Indeed, however, I feel that we have yet to draw out all the information that we can. Yeah, let's do this. Why did Miss Yu choose lobby number 1? Answer me.
You know, she just said that she had something she wanted to talk to me about. And we walked into lobby number 1 together, that's all.
So his answer remains the same as before, I see. Talking about some trivia. No, I want to press that for sure. I was hoping you could expand on what exactly you were discussing with Miss Yu.
Trivial stuff, it was nothing important.
That's for me to decide. Alright, I suppose that's for him to decide. Moving on then. Before the trial was about to reconvene. Okay, tell me about that. Until you heard the gunshot, did you notice anything else that was out of the ordinary?
I didn't hear any other strange sounds until that gunshot.
If the gunshot Detective Bad heard was really the one from the murder, that would give that other piece of evidence an entirely different meaning. I ask that you please amend your testimony with that statement just now.
Sure. I didn't hear any other strange sounds until that gunshot.
Ooh. But he should have heard that. I think is where this is going. Do I want to press that?
Objection!
Let's present. I think this is right. Detective Bad, does this balloon fragment remind you of anything?
It's the same color as the one Kay was holding.
Oh, so you knew about that girl's balloon.
Yeah, I was sitting with her up in the gallery. During the recess, just before we split up, I filled that balloon up for her.
Well, as you may have already surmised, this piece did indeed come from Kay's balloon.
So, what about the balloon?
I wonder if you might remember hearing this balloon pop at some point.
What are you getting at?
This fragment was found in the hallway right in front of lobby number 2. Furthermore, it was the sound of this balloon popping that the judge mistook as a gunshot.
Oh, so the sound that the judge heard was not actually a gunshot, huh?
On top of that, His Honor said that he heard the balloon pop about 20 minutes before the trial was to reconvene. Yes, which means that His Honor heard the balloon pop in the hallway when you were in lobby 1, Detective Bad. And if you were in lobby 1 at that time, you were close enough that you should have heard the balloon popping as well.
So?
Oh, don't give me a so. We just prove that there is a flaw in your testimony.
The crackling of the truth is louder than the sound of your sweet naivete cracking.
What?
Since you kids don't seem to know, let me fill you in on something. Did you ever stop to think why the doors and walls of this place seem so rugged?
Yeah, I get...
That is because they were designed to keep secrets from being leaked.
What is that supposed to mean?
The doors and walls are super thick, the window panes are double layered. To top it all off, even the curtains are made of a special sound-absorbing material.
Then you mean... Wait, that's gonna be important though.
Since I was shut up inside lobby number 1, there was no way I could have heard that sound.
No! I knew that's what he was going to say. And that means that Scruff-Face's testimony is completely useless. If the rooms are soundproof, then of course he wouldn't hear any sign of a struggle. No!
That's also why it's only natural that I didn't hear the balloon popping. Now do you get it? Kids.
Miles, I thought we were supposed to be the ones finding flaws in his logic, not the other way around. The other way around? It's not possible to hear the sound of a balloon popping if it were in lobby number 1. However, if we examine the situation in reverse, a person standing in the hallway should not be able to hear the real gunshot either, and yet Detective Gumshoe claims to have heard it while he was standing in the hallway. Detective Bad, if that is the case, how exactly did you hear the gunshot?
What do you mean, how? I just did.
It would appear that you have yet to realize the contradiction in your own words.
No, how so?
If the rooms are as soundproof as you say they are, then how did the sound of the gunshot enter your ears?
I see what you mean. I guess I'm more out of it from Faraday's murder than I had thought.
Which means what exactly, Miles? In the end, what does it all boil down to? It boils down to this. There must be a reason as to how Detectives Bad and Gumshoe heard a gunshot they theoretically couldn't have. Looks as if we need to examine the state of the crime scene once again, huh? State of the crime scene? Wait, could it be? The ultra-strong perfume you wears. She spilled some of it. Oop, I missed that. You got logic! And way too noisy. Lobby number 2's television looks like it was set to an incredibly high volume. Surveillance video. How could a piece of evidence just disappear? Where did it go? Okay, missing evidence. You're getting so much logic. Oh, and I gotta piece it together. Okay. Okay. Let's see what we got here. No human can climb through these barred windows. The scent of flowers is in the air. Lobby number 2's television. It looks like this was set to an incredibly high volume. Where the surveillance tape from Mr. Faraday's bag disappeared off to. A window in lobby number 1 was open to allow the perfume Miss you spilled to dissipate. Did she spill it on purpose? So I assume... It's simply not possible for the killer to have escaped through the barred windows, and yet the fragrance of the perfume managed to escape from defendant lobby number 1. Of course, incorporeal things can move freely through these open barred windows. Okay. Lobby number 2's television. It looks like it was set to an incredibly high volume. Does that contradict... I wonder, can I use the very loud television and the open windows to contradict his testimony? Hey, it's a thing. Now then, what else besides smell can go both in and out of an open barred window? The answer is sound. So no matter how careful the killer was, if the windows were open, the jig would be up. And since the windows in both defendant lobby number 1 and the hallway were open, that explains how the sound of a gunshot could be heard in both locations. Alright, that makes sense. Is that really it? Nope, it's not letting me do anything else. I guess I'm going to connect it. I don't necessarily see that. Bet the missing piece of evidence is a video that shows the moment in which Mr. Rell killed the embassy staff member. The sound of the gunshot left quite an impression on me when it was played during the trial. The video should have been returned to Mr. Faraday's evidence bag for the... Wait. Is it in the... Was it playing on the TV? Is that the gunshot they heard? And brought back here. If it disappeared after that time, then it's possible that the tape is still here in this room. Yes, I know where it is. The evidence that the missing evidence created for me is the gunshot sound that no one should have been able to hear in the first place. Miles, what have you been thinking about? It's stop wasting time thinking and let's start looking again. It's not a waste of time to think, for I have figured out where we should look. And where would that be? The TV have a VCR. I believe we should examine the television.
The TV? Well, you kids have fun. Go ahead and examine whatever you like.
Oh, well, alright. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Oh, shoot. Alright, I wanted to pick this up in the next episode. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. So, examine. It's a video player, and there seems to be a videotape inside. Looks like it. The tape must have stopped on its own when it reached the end. This tape, could it not be the missing surveillance tape? I suppose, but... Detective Bad, would it be alright with you if I verified the contents of this video?
Sure, knock yourselves out.
Alright, then let's rewind this and see what we have. It is a tape.
If I remember correctly, the footage of Rel killing the embassy staff member should be at about the 30-minute mark from the start of the tape.
Understood. This should be about right. Now then, let's see. This is the footage of Mr. Rel shooting the embassy staff member. I knew it. The missing piece of evidence, the surveillance video, was here all along.
We got it! The sound, what's the meaning of this?
It appears that Detective Bad has figured out the true source of the gunshot he heard. With this, I think we can figure out the trick behind this double murder. Do you mean that you figured it all out then? Yes, all I have to do now is show what the gunshot detectives Bad and Gumshoe heard was. And through where they heard it from. Fine. In that case, show me what you've deduced. I'm going to show what the gunshot detectives was and through where they heard it from. I won't rest until I... Okay. I'm deducing now? Deduce. Yes, and then the tape. If the door and windows to the crime scene, namely this room that we're in, were closed, the killer could have used the gun and no one would have been the wiser. It's true, this courthouse does seem to be well designed for such a thing, as it were. However, what happened in reality was Detective Gumshoe, Detective Bad, and Miss Yu, all three of them heard the gunshot. Well, the windows in lobby number 1, number 2, and the hallway were open, so naturally the people in those locations could hear it. Ah, but then why would the criminal open the window in the first place? To allow the gunshot to be heard, I suppose. Correct, that's the only logical conclusion we can draw from this. But why was that necessary in the first place? I want a real answer, Miles. I demand satisfaction. Very well, I believe that the killer wanted to manipulate our perception of a certain fact. What was it the killer wanted to manipulate our perception of? When the crime took place. Oh, I guess that could have been the murder weapon. No, you know that. Yeah, I would know. The killer wanted to fabricate the time of death to their precise wishes, and they used the gunshot and the surveillance video to do so. So that's why the tape was left running.
You mean the gunshot I heard was from this video?
Yes, which means that the murders really occurred at an earlier time than we thought. Must have been during the recess, but before Detective Gumshoe was on guard duty. Someone who has no alibi for that time period and planned this crime out in advance. That person is the real killer. Yes, we completed the investigation. We got all our health back. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, what is it? Miss Yu is asking for you. She's in the courtroom. She says that she's identified the murderer, but that she wants to clarify something. Looks like Miss Yu is still investigating something. Understood. Please tell her that I will be right over.
I'll come along. I want to hear what she has to say.
It would appear that the time has come to uncover the truth. Here we go. To be continued. All right, perfect. I'm glad we stuck with it. All right, we'll pick this up in the next episode. I feel like it's about to go down now, so hopefully the next couple episodes will be really good. I've been really excited to see how this plays out because, like I said, it's just thrown so many neat twists and turns. It's kept me really engaged throughout the whole thing, which is great. So hopefully you're all enjoying it as well. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.